Awesome. Very beautiful. We're so grateful to be here today, aren't we? Yes. Oh my goodness. We're here to heal, and we're here to heal the world. And when we consider all that's required to bring about our individual healing and the healing of the world and the transformation of humankind, we can't forget to employ one of our secret weapons. Want to know what that is? Happiness! Happiness! We have to show our happiness. We've come such a long way. Instead of getting caught into what's going wrong out there, let's focus on what we have to be grateful for, what we have to be happy about. One of the most powerful factors in healing, right up there with unconditional love, is happiness. And being happy for no reason, for every reason. Because happiness is what you are. It's your birthright. It's natural. It just never feels natural to me when I'm sad, when I'm depressed. Even in my sadness, I can be happy. I know that seems like a paradox. But about a year ago, my mom passed from this earth, and we were sad to let go of her hand and to see her go from our physical proximity. But we were so happy that she was free. And we were so connected to her happiness of leaving the body and being free that she stayed with us. She keeps saying to me, "I'm right here, dear." And just a couple weeks ago, we said goodbye to Al DeRocha. And a lot of people were crying and a lot of people were laughing. Because it was right there, right together. That's the paradox of the human experience. Because that which seems to break you is also something that can awake you. That's from that song, No Mud, No Lotus. That those things which are most challenging in your life are actually breaking up the barriers to your total happiness, your total acceptance of the spiritual nature of life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, because these are very powerful forces within us, primal forces. Joy is probably right up there with unconditional love, our most primal emotion. And this is what Jesus said concerning his teachings, why he was teaching what he was teaching and demonstrating the spiritual nature of life. He was showing his disciples that joy was the goal of his teaching. He said, "I tell you these things so that my joy might be in you." Right? So we are sharing that energy of joy, that my joy might be in you. And then your joy will be complete. Because my joy's in you. And your joy's in you too. And your joy's now in me. And now there's nothing but joy. What do we have room for besides joy? What do we have room for besides happiness? All that other stuff is just breaking up. It's just stumbling blocks along the way that we learn to let go of. It's like, I love these people that think that pain is necessary to have joy. It's like the guy banging his head against the wall, and you go, "Why are you doing that?" And he says, "Because it feels so good when I stop." So his joy is based on banging his head against the wall. And isn't that what we do? We go out and we try to change the world. We try to change everything instead of accepting the way things are and accepting that it's all part of a divine plan leading me to that greater joy. All of it is leading me to a greater awareness that I am eternal. What greater joy could I have than the realization that I am a spiritual being, that I am eternal, that in me contains all the experience and all the knowledge of everything throughout the universe. Isn't that incredible? I love it. It's amazing. We're connected to everyone and everything. That's all we're doing back here. These guys are just connecting us. I love it. It's great. And we need help doing that. We can't do it alone because we're not alone. Do you understand? We're not alone. We can't do anything alone. You have to turn up the frequency of your joy. When you turn up the frequency of your joy and happiness, you unleash an irresistible, unstoppable force, which guarantees that shift from fear to love. It guarantees the shift. It's not something I'm just hoping for, getting down on my knees and praying to some God, please help me have that shift from fear to love. No, I'm unleashing my joy and my happiness, and that's going to guarantee the shift. It's a frequency of energy. And when I release that into the world, it's unstoppable and it's irresistible. And that's what's going... People have gotten their minds all wrapped up in fighting with the other guy and winning a battle that actually can't be won because you're fighting with yourself. You're fighting with God, basically. How are you going to win that battle? You got this, I'm a seeming separate being, and I'm fighting with the source of the entire universe. Who's going to win? You're already lost. Give it up. There's no fight going on in heaven. And when we have a battle going on in the world, guess where that's happening? In my own mind, in myself. I'm always attacking myself. The only thing that's going to shift this equation of how we are interacting here on earth is our joy, is our happiness, is sharing that energy and that frequency of happiness. That's what is irresistible, and that's what is unstoppable. So it all comes down to what we focus on, what we're thinking about in our minds, what we're talking about with one another, and the energy and the emotion and the passion that we put into those thoughts and those words and those actions. Where is that energy coming from? Is it coming from that joyful knowing that I am so blessed and so are you, and I'm going to share my blessing with you. I'm going to share my joy with you so that your joy can be complete? Some people don't even know. They're not even in touch with their happiness. They're not even in touch with their joy. So how's it going to be complete if you don't even know about it? I want to not only get you in touch with your joy, I want it to be complete. I do. I want you to be so joyful that you're just every day celebrating. Just like the song said, I'm going to live in celebration every day and every moment of every day. So it's just coming down to what we focus our minds on. If we focus on what we have to be grateful for, we'll have more to be grateful for. And if we're focusing on those things that we don't like, guess what? We're going to get more of what we don't want and what we don't like. It's all where we focus our minds. And this is not new, but it's time that we practice it. You know, in the Bible, Paul was telling the Philippians, he was telling them, just focus your mind on what's good. Whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report. If there's any virtue in it, if there's anything that's praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Sounds like unity to me. Meditate on the good, right? Meditate on that which is good. Meditate on that which is causing you happiness. Meditate on that which is joyful. Meditate on that in you which is noble and true and just and pure and lovely and of good report and it has virtue. Meditate on those things. Really, stop and train your mind to focus on those things. I know when I stop, my mind's going all over the place. And a lot of different scenarios start popping into my mind. And sometimes I have to say, sorry, that's not what I want right now. Thank you, but I'm focusing on this. I want to focus on my blessings. I want to focus on my blessings today. I want to claim a blessing today. I have to tell my mind this because it seems to be going all over the place and all kinds of things seem to be coming into it. So I need to train it. I need to focus that mind on the good things. All right, so God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is a lesson from A Course in Miracles. Not partial happiness, not temporary happiness, not relative happiness, my friends, which I don't believe there can be such a thing, but I'm relatively happy. How you doing? I'm pretty good. Yeah, all right. I'm doing. You hear that a lot, don't you? Not bad. What? Come on, I'm doing amazing. If people ask me, how are you doing? I go, awesome. It's amazing. It's an they look at me sideways. What's he talking about? They go, good, not bad, all right. That's not happiness. That's that thing called relative happiness. Doesn't exist, my friends. Does not exist, relative happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. If my mind is full of fear, and grievances, and anger, I'm not going to be able to receive God's will for me, even though it's already there. Even though it's already true. I won't be able to receive it because the fear is blocking the experience of it. It's there in my mind, but my mind is preoccupied with other things, with the fear, with the anger, or my grievances. And we all have them. And that's why we need to train our minds every day to meditate on those things which are of good report. Meditate on those things. And feel those things about yourself. Because you've come a long way, you guys. You've come a long way in your spiritual path. And you are brighter than you think. You are vibrating at a level of light frequency that most people dare not dream of. So meditate on that. Focus on how brilliant and bright your light is. And be happy about that. You don't have to do anything with it. It's automatically connected to everything. And this incredible joy and perfect happiness is already there. I don't see it when I'm focused on other things. And it's all an interpretation. It's all an interpretation of what you see. You can be interpreting it as something really bad and something that's making you fearful and angry, when actually it's part of the plan to wake you up. It's part of the plan to show you that there is only love in the universe, that there is only joy. Now, I have another friend in Wisconsin now who's making his transition because he got COVID in an assisted living facility. Now, I could be really sad about that. And sometimes tears have come to my eyes because he was a really good friend and I'm going to miss him. And yet, I know, just like my mom, he's not going anywhere. That we exist together in this realm of spiritual reality that's eternal. And he is freeing himself from the body now. Now, I could blame a lot of people for this disease, and I could blame people for not handling it right and all these other things. But the truth is, he's making his transition to spirit. And he chose this method, and he chose this time. And he chose exactly when and where he was going to leave this body. Just like my mom. My mom waited till we went out to lunch. Lily and I were wanting to keep her here so bad. She says, I'll just wait till they go out to lunch. Then I'll pass into spirit. And she did. And we were having lunch, and we got a text from my brother who was in the hospital room. And we knew exactly what had happened. And we said, that Millie, she did it again. She chose when we went to lunch to take off. And what a great experience. Because she'd been telling us for months, that she wanted to leave. And we were not accepting it. And when we weren't accepting that, we were not happy. When we thought about it and we accepted it, we were really, really happy. We got so happy because we started feeling the release of the spirit from the confines of this body. Not that we can't experience it right now in this body, and I think that's actually the point of the spiritual path, is to experience the eternal, here and now in the body, God in the body, right? God eternal in the body. That's the great message of all of the saints and sages they left behind for us. A man named Greg Braden, he scientifically found out that embedded in every message, spiritual message that was left for us, was God eternal in the body. So right here and now, I can experience being on the other side. Right here and now, I can experience that there is no other side, that it's all one thing. Right here and now, I can experience the happiness and joy of being eternal, the happiness and joy of being one, the happiness and joy of knowing how to heal my body through spiritual identification. There's some great healers around here. And I think if you really want to avail yourself of some incredible experience of spiritual energy, next time you're feeling something in your body, call up one of our healers. Really, find out what they're doing. Connect with them. I do mostly spiritual and natural healing. I very, very rarely go to a doctor. And when I do, they usually don't really heal anything. They kind of tell me, oh, this is going on with your body, or this isn't going on with your body. But there's no factor, there's no happiness factor in it. You see what I'm saying? The happiness factor is that we are one, and that we are eternal, and that I can connect with your perfect health right here and now. This is how Jesus healed, by the way. No matter what the person would show to him, he'd see them as their perfect self, and they would be healed instantly. Now, with some of us, we're a little slower because our minds aren't as focused as Jesus' mind was focused. But it still works nonetheless. And I'm going to say all healing is spiritual healing. Even the healing the doctor does is spiritual healing. They're going to employ whatever methods that they employ. And finally, at the end of the operation, they go, God, I hope this works. That's the truth, I'm telling you. Or if they have more certainty about what they're doing, they say, it's going to work. But finally, you don't really know. You have to give it to Spirit. You have to have faith in something beyond the physical senses that you're seeing. And that makes me really super happy because it takes all the fear out of all the procedures, out of everything that we're doing in life. At the core, it's always a spiritual thing. When you're cooking a meal for yourself, do you feel the Spirit within every part of that meal, in the vegetables and everything that you're cooking? And the way you put it together and the way it feeds your body and the energy of it. Do you feel that? I feel it. I feel God in each and every bite. And it's lovingly prepared by someone, and people have labored to bring that food to your home and put it on your table. I get really happy about that. I really do. I get really happy about having clean water. Having really clean, pure water to drink. I get really happy about having friends that I can talk to and be one with without conflict, without wondering, what are they thinking now? Or I need to please them, or any of those kinds of things. Having relationships that work all the time. All the time. Oh, you're really wondering, how could I do that? A relationship that works all the time, every single moment of every single day? Yes, it works perfectly because you've given it to God. You have no use for all that other stuff. Now I'm gonna, let's see if I got it here. Okay, forgiveness is the key to happiness. So what happens here is that I get clogged up with fear and anger and a lot of different personal agenda, the ego agenda, agendas of the ego. That's what's going to clog up your relationships. It's going to clog up your finances. It's going to clog up everything. I saw a wonderful meme the other day. It said, there's a doctor, and he's talking to the patient, and the doctor says, I removed your ego. Turns out that's what was clogging up your reality all along. And the one thing that's going to remove that blockage is forgiveness. Because it's an agenda. It's an agenda to help me feel better about this thing that is actually harming me. This view of myself that I'm protecting. You could call it the ego, you could call it the personality, but all it really is a mistaken idea about yourself. That's all it is. It's an interpretation of who you are, what your needs are, and how you're going to survive in this environment. Well, what if the environment is all God? What if the environment is all good? What if the universe is always conspiring on your behalf? Holy mackerel, everything, all of it is for your highest good and your best interests. So forgiveness is going to be my key to happiness. It will be my spiritual remedy. It's a remedy for my mind. And since we're learning about the mind in the heart, it's not just a thought remedy, it's a heart remedy as well. You're going to feel a lot better. It balances, it soothes your emotions, forgiveness. And it focuses your thoughts. It allows you to meditate on those things that Paul was asking us to meditate on. All the things that are of good report. So here's your answer to your search for peace. This is A Course in Miracles, Lesson 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. This is your answer to your search for peace. Here is the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here is the way to safety in apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty of all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all your questions answered. Here is the end of all uncertainty at last. Forgiveness. You see, the unforgiving mind is full of fear. It offers no room to be itself, no place where it can spread its wings in peace and soar above the turmoil of this world. The unforgiving mind is sad and without hope of respite and release from its pain. It suffers and abides in misery, peering about in darkness, seeing not, yet certain of the danger lurking there. And it goes on for several more paragraphs to explain and describe the unforgiving mind. But forgiveness is going to be the key. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible, and full of sin. And I will know that I am the perfect child of God. Forgiveness offers everything that I want. This is the next lesson, 122. What could you want that forgiveness cannot give? I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you want peace? Yes. Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness? Yes. Forgiveness offers it. Do you want a quiet mind? Yes. Forgiveness offers it. Do you want a certainty of purpose? A sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and a warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed and a gentleness that can never be hurt and a deep, abiding comfort and a rest so perfect that it could never be upset? All this forgiveness offers you, and more. It lifts up the veil, my friends, that's been hiding reality from you. And it lifts up the veil that it allows you to experience this total happiness and total joy. Yes, I want my joy to be in you so that your joy is complete. And now there's several steps, let's say, that we can use to ignite our forgiveness, to practical ways that we can use to put this forgiveness or cultivate forgiveness and our happiness. which opens the door to our happiness. Okay, you ready? Here we go. First one, don't participate in drama. Don't do it. The drama's going to come to you. It's going to knock on your door. It's going to say, don't you want to participate? This is fun. And you're going to open the door. You're going to say, drama queens, I'm sorry. Auditions have been canceled. Close the door in that drama. Don't participate in drama. Pray for others. Now, when you find yourself at odds with others, how they're acting, what they're saying, how that's showing up in the world, don't complain about them. Don't show them how they're wrong, because that's not going to help. That's feeding it. That's fueling the fire of their own misconceptions. Remember, your joy and happiness is the fuel for change, not your condemnation. So don't condemn them for what they believe. Pray for them and pray for yourself. Count your blessings. Count your blessings, what you're grateful for each and every day. Like we did in that meditation, do that meditation every night when you go to bed. All the wonderful things that happen that day. Many times I will just fall asleep before I get halfway through my list, because every day is so full of blessings. Count them all and meditate on the good in life. Not just what's happening with you, but I'm going to celebrate your good. If you're successful and prosperous, then so am I. I feel so great when you're succeeding, when you're happy, when you're joyful. That makes me feel so good. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world to see those around you succeeding and being happy and fulfilling their purpose in life. I just want you to be happy. And when you are, man, that makes me happy. It just grows and grows. So meditate on the good in all life, in the life of your friends, your neighbors, everyone who's really bringing more joy to the world. Give of your time, give of your talents, and give of your treasure. This is what we're learning in the 4T prosperity program. It's not just our treasure, although that's important. 10% of all our income is an important way to keep the flow going. But our talents on top of that, what are we good at? How can we share that with others? And our time, just making a commitment to showing up. Saying, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to show up. I don't need anything for my time. I just want to be with you. I just want to hang out with you. I just want to go for a walk today. Right? We're just going to go for a walk together. We're going to spend time together. I'm going to sit and listen to you. I'm just going to be without having to express my opinion about anything. I just want to be with you, sharing this time together. So sharing of your time is very important. Your time, your talent, and your treasure. These are all ways that we are employing the act of forgiveness and getting happier. So, expressing gratitude is another one. Not just counting my blessings at night, but saying, wow, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for coming in this week and giving what you gave. Thank you for coming in and spending all those hours setting up these cameras this week. You guys over here. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks for everything, for doing the flowers, for mowing the lawn. Thank you for just showing up and having a conversation. Thanks for showing up and going for a walk with us. Just thank you for being you. Really show gratitude to those around you. Because when I count my blessings, I count you twice. All right, and then find someone to support. And I think that's a big thing, is actively looking for those that you can support, that you have the power to help. In some way, help those who are less fortunate than you. Those that may not look like you, think like you, act like you, love like you, vote like you. We did this last week, didn't we? Go out and support them. Go out and support those who may not have the same level of happiness that you do right now. Because you can be a huge factor in their life. You can be a huge influence in turning up their happiness factor. So go out and support someone. Find and fulfill your purpose in life. This is awesome because fulfilling your purpose is your happiness. If you get more into the course, it says, my purpose is to be happy, and my happiness will be fulfilling my purpose. And your purpose really is to forgive everyone and everything. So no matter what it is, you could end up being a musician or a minister. You could be anyone. You could be doing anything here on earth. But your true purpose is to join with everyone. Your true purpose is to be the Christ. And so every possibility that is needed by you to fulfill that higher purpose will be given you. All the opportunities will be given you. We just need to open our eyes. We need to find it by opening our awareness and our consciousness, and then fulfill it by receiving the gift, saying thank you and stepping into it. We need to be honest. We need to be authentic. We need to be vulnerable. We need to be a blessing wherever we go and whatever we do. So, my friends, continue to be a blessing no matter what's going on in this world and no matter what your interpretation of it is. Remember to turn up your happiness factor by being a blessing to everyone you meet. And you will bring into manifestation your world according to divine law. You're bringing it into manifestation, not someone else. You're doing it. You're amazing. You're powerful. You're beautiful. Thank you so much for being the light of the world. I love you guys. And remember to stay happy. Okay?
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass., and visit us online at unityoncapecod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.